What's up, everybody? Lex here, along with Lee, and this is a special 11th anniversary pre-show. The show is this Saturday, and it's going to be live from Chicago Ridge, Illinois. Before we get to all that, Lee, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. We are going to have a full rundown of the card, of course, and then we're going to. We've been talking, actually. So weird to ask how you're doing because we've been talking for like an hour or so, or whatever it is.
Oh, we got a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna put. I'm gonna cut some of that up and stick it on the end of this and kind of give you a little bit extra since we haven't had an episode in quite some time. Hopefully, we're gonna get to a full episode of Ringside Report soon, talking about 11th anniversary show. First and foremost, going into this, you know, we've had hype for other pay-per-views. What level is the hype for this pay-per-view for you, at least?
It's weird because I got a lot of stuff going on in my life right now, and I really haven't been faithful to watching wrestling at ROH really as much as I like. When I look at the card, they're definitely all matches that I want to see. So, you know, when I think about it, the hype is there. It's just the fact of when I actually get a chance to think about it, and you know, that's not ROH's problem. They've been doing a great job advertising.
Mm-hmm.
It's just my, you know, just me not being connected.
Yeah, I'm excited for this, but I'm not like, oh my god, I can't wait to see pay-per-view wrestling again. It's gonna be fun. I'm probably gonna get some pizza tomorrow and just fucking kick back and enjoy it all. But at the same time, it's like this isn't Final Battle or anything like that. And
Probably because it's been so long. I mean,
right.
December, you know.
Yeah, and by the way, you know, the hype for Final Battle was up there, but this might be an actual better event than Final Battle because Final Battle wasn't very strong. It wasn't a very strong event. It was okay. It was good, but you know, Glory by Honor I think was my favorite pay-per-view of last year.
Yeah.
And this pay-per-view starts out with a match that I think we've seen quite a bit. And that was a big. That was like the big theme of last year was, oh, we've seen this match, we've seen this match, we've seen this match. Scum versus Caprice Coleman and Cedric Alexander, and this is a grudge match. So obviously they've wrestled before. I think they wrestled at Death Before Dishonor, and I don't remember the match being very good. What do you think? Do you think this time around it'll be a bit better? Carino's promised that there's going to be new members of Scum coming to this event. Do you think this is the match, or are they going to save that to the end?
I'm. It's hard to say.
Right.
You know, as long as the ending, I don't want to see the ending result in a disqualification. I want to see a clear-cut winner. Mm-hmm. And if there is any one that comes at the end, I'd rather them come after the winner. You know, whoever wins, you know, whoever the winner is, their hand is raised or whatever. I guess it's probably better for them just to go ahead and come in this match. I'm not a big fan of Carino and Jacobs as in tag team. I don't know. I just feel like Carino's better at the table and he's better as in a manager. He's better on the mic. I'm just not a big fan of seeing him wrestle.
I don't mind his wrestling ability or what. He does have this very methodic, like he doesn't move with a whole lot of grace, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like
he doesn't. And I've seen matches in it that just put it this way. I've seen matches he's been a part of last year that just weren't the best.
Right.
And
yeah.
I guess like, you know, to be in an organization where you're seeing so much stuff that's just on point, it stands out when you're not on point. I guess that's what it is.
I like his style. I think it fits with his you know, with his body type now. You know, he's got that very old school Japan style that you would see.
I just don't think he can keep up, though.
You know, I mean, probably not. You put him in a ring with, and that's the thing. Like I think he's the same age as Caprice Coleman is, or something. He's pretty close to that. And Coleman's such a better.
No,
athlete.
He's got to be older.
He might be like Coleman is like 36 right now, I think.
Coleman's my age. He's 34.
Is he? I thought
he
was older.
He's 34.
Than that. Okay.
He's 10 years older than he's 9 or 10 years older than Cedric, and Cedric's just turned 25, I believe.
Okay. Well, then I think Carino's maybe like 5 years older.
Oh, I'm sorry. Cedric's 23. Carino Haas is 38.
Yeah.
So do you think Carino's older than that?
I think he's on the same. I don't think he's older than that. I
While
think
you're
he's
talking, I'll look it
36,
up. But I will say this:
37. Or
I mean,
something.
I can't give him a break because you got somebody like Charlie Haas who can go.
Right, but I mean, like age. My point is, age doesn't really. It doesn't really matter because Bobby Fish is 38 years old. So these guys, Coleman, Bobby Fish, Charlie Haas, they're all in great shape. Carino's just not in great shape, and he cut a promo about that, about how fans are calling him fat and how he doesn't have anything anymore, and this and
But
that.
it's every other time you see him. Like you see him one day and he's in shape and his hair's dyed blonde, and then you see him a month later and he's fat and he cut his hair short.
Yeah.
Then you see him a month later and he's got a mustache and he's built again. And I mean, he's like what are those things you call in your video games where you change their. That's what he's like.
Oh God.
Just like downloadable content or something. Like which one are you going to get this time?
We need Carino downloadable content for the Ring of Honor game when it comes out. Oh, I can't. I hope they make a fucking game for that.
It better be good. That's the thing. Like I'm at the point where, you know what? I will buy a system if they come out with a game for Ring of Honor, but but it has to be a good game. Like
Yeah.
I'd rather them have no game than to have a poor game, a piss poor game. I don't want a piss poor game.
As long as it's fun, fun to play or whatever. I don't mind too bad. Like the TNA Impact game, like that caught a lot of flack, but it still had its fun because the Ultimate X shit and I mean, they have a unique opportunity to do something with the Ring of Honor game, like because Ring of Honor it's almost been criticized as video game wrestling, where you're just doing a whole bunch of crazy shit for no reason with no rings.
Only people that say that are people that don't watch Ring of Honor.
Oh, that's true. We talked about that earlier, though.
Yeah.
Okay. So Carino and Jacobs might have a new partner. If they do have someone new come into the Scum, who's your pick? Was it somebody inside, somebody outside of Ring of Honor? What's the best case scenario for this?
If it's somebody inside, as much as I can't stand Matt Hardy, I think he would be a fit.
Yeah, you mentioned that on the page. That would be interesting. That Hardy and Steen working together. It's almost like I'm expecting Steen to turn face real soon.
See, that won't make sense to me. That's just like the reason why that won't make sense is because Scum is Scum because of him. I mean, Scum's not gonna. It's not one of those groups where he leaves and then they can still survive. If he leaves, no one can give a damn about Scum. I wouldn't either. I mean, I personally wouldn't. Like, you don't. Okay, Scum has the tag team champions, and they got. They had the tag team champions, and Steen's the world champion. But if he what's the highest belt they're going to get? What are they going to get? They're going to get the TV title. There's no way any of those guys are going to get that.
But I think I think the story can continue though, because it's a matter of, and I think they set it up pretty nicely at this last TV tapings, because Steen, he's trying to help Lethal up. He's cutting the promo about how he wanted to kill Ring of Honor because of Jim Cornette, but now that Jim Cornette's out, he doesn't want to kill Ring of Honor and this and that. He loves the belt.
That's all bullshit. I don't buy that.
But that's the thing, though. They could continue on with that, and it's like, Steen's like, okay, we accomplished our mission. Let's drop it. And Carino and Jacobs don't want to drop it. They want to keep killing Ring of Honor, and so you have this thing where Steen.
Well,
breaks
who though,
out.
Lex? I mean, who do you want to see? I don't want to see Steen fight Jacobs or Carino again.
My pick would be Charlie Haas.
No, Charlie Haas is not going to be part of it because Charlie Haas and Roddy are going to be a tag team.
What?
You laugh now, but I'm telling you what I know. Charlie Haas and Roger Strong are going to be in a group together. And I don't know if they're going to be a group of them or if it's just going to be them, but it's going to be those two, and it's going to involve beer. Trust me. Not making this up.
I don't know. There's not a lot of things that catch me off guard, but that caught me off guard.
Okay, I'm just telling you I'm just telling you.
Okay. They form a tag team over beer. All right. Camp Strong.
SOBs, the Sons of Beer.
Okay, I can dig that. But they can do stuff like Rhino's in there, and Rhino is a legit world title contender. Carino and Jacobs aren't, but they could do Jacobs with TV title, that could be viable. Tag team titles, obviously. But outside of Matt Hardy and Charlie Haas, if you start doing that, if you start doing Charlie Haas and Matt Hardy, then it does become like a WWE Invasion group type thing, where it's like Carino's.
No, it can't be Charlie Haas is he's too foul. He's fine. He's by himself. I don't want to say who he reminds me of, but he's by himself,
That's
and
fine.
it works for him.
Yeah,
And it's not a ripoff of that person's gimmick, but it's just he's taking something. That's just how
being
Texans
himself.
are.
He's
He's
being
taking something, he's made it his
himself.
own.
He's being himself,
He's being himself.
which is what the person you're referring to did.
Exactly, and that's how Haas is, because I've met him on his side, and that's how he is. Like,
He's a dick, right?
yeah, I mean, he has his nice moments, but he's a dick. Shelton's an asshole.
Yeah, Shelton
But-
seems like Charlie seems like a guy that busts your balls. Shelton just seems like a guy that doesn't want to talk to you at all.
Well, you hit it on the head, Lex, because Charlie's the type of person where he'll do shit just to get a rise out of you, and then he'll laugh and be like, "Whatever, man, come on, bring it in," this, that, and the other.
Right.
Where Shelton's just one like, "What the fuck do you want?" And he's like, you ask him questions, and he's waiting for you to say something so he can just kind of like just be an asshole.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's gone.
Moving on, 6-man mayhem match. 6-man mayhem match. QT Marshall versus ACH versus Silas Young versus Mike Seidel versus Adam Page versus Tadarius Thomas. So
I'm looking forward to this match.
yeah, this is going to be an awesome mix. I love 6-man mayhem. First Ring of Honor match I ever saw was 6-man mayhem, and it actually involved Caprice Coleman, which I have on YouTube. So if you want to search that, go ahead and do that. But yeah, I love this concept. Basically, what 6-man mayhem is: 2 guys start in the ring, the rest are out on side like like tag team, and you just tag in each other as you go along, and it usually just breaks down into total chaos. So this is going to be a match where we see a ton of good spots. It's going to highlight guys like ACH, Mike Seidel, and Tadarius Thomas, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But who wins out of all this? Does I mean,
ACH wins with the flash kick.
ACH just got signed, by the way. We haven't
I
reported
was
that.
so
That-
happy about
yeah.
that, Lex. That was a smart move.
That's one of those signings we've been calling for half a year now, maybe. And it's just like, they gotta sign ACH. They gotta sign, and it didn't happen. And we're like, oh, maybe they're just not. They're just not gonna sign him. And then all of a sudden, you see him right there, the picture with him signing the contract, and you're just like, instant boner. This guy is fucking phenomenal. Charisma. Like I told Wario, ACH gets over just walking down to the ring.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all he has to do. Walk down to the ring, and they're chanting ACH by the end of his entrance. So, I really hope ACH wins this. But then again, I wouldn't be mad if Silas Young or Tadarius Thomas were to win either. So,
Well, I'll tell you, and I don't want to get off on a different subject real quick. It just hit my mind that Mischief is going to be the first women's champion in Ring of Honor.
it's certainly looking that way. Like, she's being built up that way, it seems, because she wins every match, and they're bringing in some young good talent, and I'm okay with that. I'm not a huge Mischief fan, but if you're gonna have a first champion, make it someone that's established and has years under her belt. If Sarah Del Rey were available, I'd say give it to her, but Mischief is probably the next best thing.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, I agree.
No holds barred. Charlie Haas versus B.J. Whitmer after their parking lot brawl they had at the Liberty Ford. That by the way, if you haven't seen that, go check that out. Charlie Haas beating the shit out of B.J. Whitmer on a used car lot. Just phenomenal stuff.
Liberty Ford is well known in Baltimore, and the fact that I don't know what video. I mean, Charlie Haas has just been hitting it out the park lately. Where was this guy 10 years ago? I mean, did you see what he did? He did with Antonio, with Claudio did to he did it to the Miz. He did it to Cheeseburger on a guardrail, like no pads.
And he did it for what seemed like 10 minutes straight. And I was like, this poor fucking kid, because you're like, oh, well, it's thin sheet metal. It just makes a loud sound. No, this guy was being hit on these the steel placeholders for the sheet metal. He was being banged up on over and over and over and over again. And I wonder, is this kid, is he a Ring of Honor student?
Yes.
He is?
His name
Okay.
is Rondell, and he's a Ring of Honor student. And It all
Okay.
started when it all started when Charlie Haas came in the ring pissed off as usual to
Right.
cut a promo,
Yeah.
and Rondell was removing the streamers from the ring, and Haas is like, "What are you doing in my damn ring?" And he's like, "Yeah." So the guy gets in the ring, and he's like, "What is your name? Never mind. You look hungry. I'm gonna call you No, I'm gonna call you like you need a cheeseburger. I'm gonna call you Cheeseburger." And he proceeds to beat his ass, and he's been doing it every chance he's gotten since then.
Right. I come to think of it, I remember Cheeseburger in one of Rhett Titus's Titus TV videos that he was doing when he was at the Ring of Honor school. So that's look, Cheeseburger might not ever get into a Ring of Honor ring other than this. So that's cool. He's too damn skinny, too damn skinny. I
They'll
can't
use
see
him like they do.
I can't see
What's it called?
even with you name like Mike Seidel, Grizzly Redwood, ugh, and Andy Ridge. I can't see him being any better than those guys. Even I don't know, but he could be phenomenal. So who knows? ACH is pretty skinny too, though. So we'll
Yeah.
see.
So is CM Punk, but anyway.
Well, Charlie Haas and BJ Whitmer, no holds barred. We talked about their brawl in the parking lot, but does Whitmer finally get his revenge after being
No,
thrown headfirst into a table at Final Battle? And
this is not the same BJ Whitmer that was in having those wars back in the day. I mean, he seems like a tame version of he seems like what Charlie Haas used to be, and Charlie Haas is just phenomenal. He's the best damn heel in wrestling right now, in all of wrestling.
Oh man, 2 out of 3 falls. I don't know if this is going to be the final match between these two, but definitely a match where I think Elgin has to go over. Roger Strong versus Michael Elgin.
Why? Because Roddy beat his ass on last
Yeah,
TV.
he pinned him right in the middle of the ring. 1, 2, 3.
He fucked him up before he pinned him, Lex. He did he unleashed. It was like when you're playing a video game and you unleash all of your moves. It was like super combo, and he pinned him.
Juggling him in the air and shit. But that's the thing, though. Like, I would assume they gave that to Roddy because he's going to lose this
You
Saturday.
never know with ROH though.
Yeah, you never know, I guess. But like, fuck, if they make Elgin lose, I don't know, man. I'm not saying this is the end of his career if they make him lose. I just hope if they make him lose to Roger Strong, at least give Roddy not a title run, but a shot at the title at the very least. Make him.
Give Roddy a shot.
Yeah, like if he were to beat Elgin in this 2 out of 3 falls match, give him a title shot. Because you don't want to hurt Elgin by having Strong lose and then just do nothing about it. Just do nothing with it.
Well, I think they just want to get this over with so they can go ahead and give Elgin's getting that TV title
Yeah, more than likely.
somehow, some way. I mean, it's my big picks for this in 2013 is Elgin and what's his name, Taven, somewhere along the line being in that scene. Now, Tommaso's coming back, and I don't know what the plan is for him. I don't know if he's just going to be feuding for a while, but
Did you see that video?
I want to see. I didn't get a chance to see it yet, but I saw.
Watch it. Watch it. It's a fucking phenomenal video. Best thing Ring of Honor's ever done.
Do you think he could possibly go against Challenge Steen when he comes back?
Here's what I think, and I was thinking about this earlier, and here's what they need to do. I even thought about writing an article about this. Injuries suck when they happen. They put someone out of action, but they also can be a blessing in disguise because you bring him back from injury, you wipe everything off the table people forget that he was having, okay matches with Jay Lethal, and he was having a ton of them. You bring him back now and you make him this dominant force, like you make it a big deal that he's coming back. Like, holy shit, here comes the psychopath Tommaso Ciampa, and he's fucking knocking people out with the knee that he hurt. And I don't want to say do something where it's like a bionic knee or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking Dusty Rhodes bionic elbow here, but I mean you have to create a monster out of Ciampa on his return. Don't let him wrestle. Just have him come out and attack people. And I don't know if they want to sew up this whole thing with Prince Nana and Artie Evans or whatever. I guess he can beat the shit out of QT if he wants, but Just
Come in, have him get his little revenge match from QT, and then just be done with it. Because the way I see it, I don't know. Is he okay? Is he involved with that whole gut check thing or no?
I don't know. I have no idea what this check thing is all about. I have no clue. I think they're just naming wrestlers on there, whether they agree or not. It seems that way, at least. I don't know. But you know, is what they're doing with Charlie Haas right now? You know, he may wrestle and whatever, but the thing people are remembering most is just the stuff where he comes out and, you know, talks shit about people and beats people up. That's what they need to do with Ciampa. It doesn't matter if he wrestles at this point, because you need to build up to him being a threat. Because he wasn't a threat to the world title when he was there before his injury. He wasn't. TV title,
Well, because when he was
but
doing it, yeah. But I mean, he was a. Yeah, I see what you mean. Bring him back. I mean, like repack. Well, they already kind of repackaged him. I'm wondering if he's going to come back with that whole crazy gimmick, which I don't think he should. I think he should just come back kicking ass.
yeah, pissed off. Just be like really pissed off about. It doesn't even have to. You don't have to tell people what he's pissed off about. Just bring him pissed off. And
I
just
gotta
have
find
him.
the video now.
Yeah, that video is. It's like it's document. We were talking about documentaries earlier. It's documentary quality. It's phenomenal. And it's not even that much. It's just his match with Jay Lethal where he got hurt, playing over him working out. But it's so effective. So I hope they play it on TV too. Dream Tag Team match: the American Wolves, Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards, versus the Forever Hooligans, Rocky Romero and Alex Kozlov. Now, when this was announced, a lot of us were like, I don't remember this ever being referred to as a dream match. But it's got some interesting dynamics with Rocky Romero, obviously former No Remorse Corps member. And Rocky and Davey were dominant in Japan when Davey left, and Alex took his place, basically, as their tag team. But
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I would definitely not call it a dream match because I don't think anybody dreamt about that.
yeah.
But maybe Rocky did, but I don't think anybody else did. But yeah, I'm definitely. I think it's gonna be a good match though. All four of those guys are pretty talented. I think we're gonna see some nice, cool spots in there, and I think it'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, if you're going to take anything out of it, is that this match, you have low expectations because of, well, this isn't a dream match, but it is going to be a good match. So, ROH TV title is on the line when Adam Cole defends against Matt Taven with his new manager, Truth Martini. Now, we were talking about they're building this like Taven doesn't have a fucking chance to win this title. But is this a swerve by Ring of Honor?
You know what? I hope. It looks like they've been dicking Matt Hardy around since he got there. You know what I'm saying? And if this is the case, I hope it continues because I'm loving it.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, he came in and he got that win, but since then he hasn't gotten a damn thing. I mean, Nigel tricked him into giving the belt back. He didn't get his shot initially. From I don't want to ruin this. You read the spoilers, so you know what's going to happen as far as what's going on with the whole match thing. I mean, we already said. We kind of already said Elgin's got a TV title shot or whatever. He's in the picture, so I mean, people know by now. But anyway, yeah. So he couldn't beat a group of people to get a shot, and I mean, if he loses this, it's like I think have him lose and just have him join Scum. You know, what's the purpose of having him walking around? Because see, if you have him walk around with the TV title, there's nobody's looking for that belt. I mean, there's no face that's going to go against him except for Elgin. I can't see anybody else
Elgin seems primed to do it right now. You know,
don't get me wrong. I would love to see him, if for anything. Okay, I don't want to see Cole win yet because I want to see Cole with a longer run with it. But if Cole's going to lose, I'm okay with Elgin destroying Matt Hardy and taking the title.
Yeah, and like we were talking about, Cole might be going to the WWE fairly soon. So
now, have we heard anything about his trial?
I mean, he was impressive, I guess. You know, that it was supposedly it was a very grueling tryout, and he was one that stuck around, and because people quit, but he was one that stuck around and got through it and everything like that. With his look, he's got charisma. We know we saw him cut promos in PWG and even his face stuff in Ring of Honor. I thought it's really good. His TV appearances have been really good. This guy, I don't understand. If he doesn't get signed, there's something in the water with WWE, because there's no way a guy like this should not be signed. So, as much as I'd want to see him win the Ring of Honor World Title, it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, no, that's the only thing is, in the past, Ring of Honor have kind of, I mean, except with the exceptions of like the Kings of Wrestling, but I mean, they were tag team champions, but I mean, they got people who are already up there, and this is kind of Cole got snatched kind of prematurely, and it's not like they sat on Cole because he was given a push pretty soon.
I'm telling you, man, fucking Triple H is watching Ring of Honor TV on his iPad. I'm telling you.
Well, I mean, once I saw that CM Punk documentary and I saw where they were putting Ring of Honor footage and all this other stuff in there, I was like, there's obviously, they're looking. They're looking.
Absolutely.
I mean, Generico, although he wasn't on the Ring of Honor roster at that time, they're looking, man, and they're looking more so than ever to really get these guys from not just ROH, but PWG, Dragon Gate. They're looking to pull these people. And, for us that watch these, the alternative, we just got to be ready because it's just a matter of time before somebody like Roderick Strong and, some of those other people. The only people that I see that not going are people who have made up in their mind that they're not going to work that schedule.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys like Davey Richards, he'll never go.
Which reminds me, I want to ask you this real quick. Real quick. With TNA going on the road, does that mean that their schedule changes now, or are they taping a block of shows? Because it made me wonder about somebody like AJ Styles, who, never wanted to. He said he never wanted to do like WWE because of the schedule. So
what I remember, they are doing. They'll do 2 shows wherever they go. They'll do 1 live and 1 taped.
Okay.
So. Should be really interesting. I might actually tune in. Actually, I can't tune into TNA because I don't have cable, but I might go seek it out to see how it looks in the new. Because they're going to Chicago, the first place they're going.
I'll give you the link. I usually watch it the next day. Kenny King won the belt.
Oh, did he?
He beat RVD. Finally beat RVD. Beat him last night.
Oh, nice. Good for Kenny King.
I mean, good. At least he's doing something while he's over there.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can't. I mean. He took that time off, and it's good to see him back in wrestling and whatever. And he's a son of a fucking bitch for doing what he did to the tag team titles. But you can't hate a guy forever. You can't hate a guy forever, though. So good for Kenny King. Ring of Honor tag team titles, which we just spoke about, are on the line when the Briscoes defend against Bobby the Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly Auto Parts. I can't even fucking say it. The Briscoes got me all crazy. Tag team titles on the line. Obviously, Fish and O'Reilly are not winning this one.
No, they need to win.
No, they're not. They're not going to win this one.
Who are the Briscoes going to lose the titles to? Where the fuck are the headbangers? Who are the Briscoes going to lose the titles to?
I don't know. I bet it's not the right time for them to take.
No. Because you were just
what are the Briscoes gonna do?
In your mind, come on, let's get cut to the chase. In your mind, the Briscoes are gonna lose. The next tag team champions are gonna be the American Wolves. You don't gonna consider anybody else.
Why not? The American Wolves.
Because that's what you want to believe, and if it was gonna happen, it was gonna happen by now.
No, I think
Fish and O'Reilly are gonna win those belts, and then Davey and Eddie are gonna beat them for the belts.
I'm not saying it's impossible. Fish and O'Reilly could win the belts, but I think what they're going to do is have the Wolves win the belts, and then O'Reilly and Fish go after the Wolves for the titles, and then eventually beat the Wolves. So
they're going to beat them. They're going to beat them at the anniversary show, and then at Glory by no, they got that one in Canada. I don't know what's going to happen. Remember last year we didn't see that coming in Canada when the Briscoes lost the belts. We didn't see that happening.
But that was probably the worst fucking. Not the worst match. Well, it might have been the worst match too. But the worst ending to a match in Ring of Honor since I've been watching it. With the fucking hairspray or whatever it is.
And real quick, 10-second rant. What the hell is up with ROH doing fucking talk show segments? Never do that shit again, please.
Talk show segment? What are you talking about?
Truth Martini did some damn show, and he bought out, I forget who it was. Paul Jordan was there.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, the live hoopla.
Yeah, we don't need that shit. Not in ROH. Don't even start that.
It's It's fine.
No Lex. Now
It's
that's a gateway. That's how it starts.
They used to do that all the time though in Ring of Honor. They used to bring someone out like when they had fucking whatever his name is, Larry Sweeney. When he had his group, they would come out and they would do a talking thing and get heat and whatever. It's okay if it's just one or two per event. But if you start doing like one before after every match, then it's like out of hand. Like WWE, that's what they'll do. They'll do a match and then they'll do a segment. They'll do a match and then they'll do a segment. Or they'll do segment match, But I don't know. Truth is a pretty entertaining guy, so I'm okay with it.
Okay, whatever.
You're fucking mad about that. Oh man. You are mad about that one. ROH World Title is on the line as Kevin Steen defends against Jay Lethal, and there's a good possibility Lethal could win this one.
The only way I'll be okay with Lethal winning, and I like Jay Lethal. I like them. He's a cool guy. Jay Lethal is a real nice guy. I talked to him, took a picture. He's nice. I follow him since TNA. Really, I didn't know him before then, but I want to see him get a world title. I'm okay if he wins, but I think if he keeps that belt for long, people are going to turn on him. So I just feel like he should win, and then when they have their pay-per-view in Canada, Steen should get it back.
If he's going to win, this is a good place for him to win.
Yeah, definitely not New York,
yeah.
and definitely not in I mean, he should win and then lose it in Canada.
Well, Steen is from Canada, so I don't...
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. It seems like they'd turn on him pretty quickly on Lethal. Chicago is the perfect place to do it if you're going to do it, because they're going to react favorably for Lethal, especially because last time they were there was Death Before Dishonor, and it was when Lethal ended Homicide with that fucking DDT, the dangerous DDT that he has. And that was the first time he pulled it out and everything. And that's kind of where he got, that's where he started his attitude thing.
That shit was awesome, and he only did it once since then.
Mm-hmm. It's like a fucking gunshot. And
I can't find a clip of it anyway. I've been trying to show people.
It's just done after that. So, but yeah, I don't know if Lethal will win for sure. But if they're gonna do it, now is the time to do it. So if they don't do it, I don't see Lethal winning the title anytime down the line. But the promo he cut, not on TV.
Damn! I'm sorry I'm going to cut you off, but I was watching that Tommaso documentary where he came out that turnbuckle and just hit that dude in the face with that kick. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sorry, Lex. I did not mean to cut you off, but I did not see that cut. I forgot about that happening. He just, oh my God, Tommaso was beast.
Yeah, that video is awesome too. It totally gets you hyped up for Ciampa coming back. So good job, Ring of Honor. But as far as Lethal and Steen, I don't think it's the right time to do it to take the title off Steen. He has a good run going right now. Let's see, he's 2 months away from being a year as champion, I believe, because he won it at Border Wars, right?
Think he'll beat CM Punk's record?
No, probably not.
It don't matter because nobody's gonna beat Joe's record.
Well, fuck no. Good God. In fact, I was reading an article where it was breaking down how much longer each champion has to hold their titles to defeat this record and that record, and Joe's title reign is like I wasn't there, like I wasn't watching it as it happened, so I don't believe it. I don't believe it happened. There's no way a guy could hold the title that long. Not only that, but have the defenses that Samoa Joe had.
I know.
A.
But you know what? That was a different Joe, though.
Well, I was just about to say, Double A makes fun of Samoa Joe all the time. If he actually watched a lot of those matches that he had and understood how long he was having 60-minute Broadway matches with CM Punk with that title.
That's the thing. He had matches with Punk. He had that match with Kenta Kobashi. I mean, he had some matches. It's a different Joe, and I think the only one who he was 645, and then Nigel was like 545.
It's something ridiculous like that. It's
Nigel had the belt for a while, but I think when Nigel had, See, I don't know. I gotta look back at it. That's when I really first started. I didn't hear about ROH when Joe was there. I heard about ROH when Nigel was champion.
Yeah, and I've said my awareness with Ring of Honor a lot. It basically was CM Punk in 2004. That's when I first heard about it. And Samoa Joe was a guy that I first saw on TNA, and then I had to go back and watch all those matches. And actually, the first title match that I saw from ROH was Samoa Joe versus CM Punk 2 at the World Title Classic, where they went 60 minutes, and it's just like I couldn't believe it. It blew my mind. Like I'd seen the Iron Man match between Brett and Shawn and everything like that, and that was all well and good. And then you see this match, and they're like, holy shit, they're beating the shit out of each other for 60 minutes. It's not rest hold after rest hold like Shawn and Brett was. And I love the Shawn and Brett match, but they're literally kicking the shit out of each other in this match.
That Shawn and Brett match was so fucking overrated to me. I'm sorry. You know what? When I first watched it, it was the whole thing of they're going to wrestle an hour because they advertised it that way. Not realizing that I had watched so many hour-long matches before. It was just the fact of... I mean, I'll put it this way. You can watch it once or twice, but that's not something you're going to sit through and watch over and over again. I mean, it's just...
It's good.
I'm not saying it was terrible.
Yeah.
But I just think that it was...
It's good. I like it, but
I wish maybe if they had pinfalls in it. That would, I mean, come on. If they actually exchanged some pinfalls, and then the way that it all happened, it was just so rushed at the end. It was just I don't know.
Okay, so here's the stats on Joe. All right, he held the title for 645 days. He had 29 successful defenses. Nigel held the belt for 545 days, so you're right. He had 38 defenses in that time. But the most impressive to me, Bryan Danielson, 462 days, 38 defenses. So he held it for 100 days less than Nigel and had the same amount of defenses.
How many defenses total did he have?
38.
Now, how many defenses has Steen had?
Kevin Steen has had 16 defenses.
And he's had the
belt. This is a Wikipedia article, so I don't know if this is up to date, but this says 286.
So, at the rate he's going, he'll pass Nigel. I mean, he's defended more.
See,
but I mean, that's because ROH is. See, back then ROH wasn't running shows like they are now, right?
No, they didn't have quite the backing that they have now. And they have TV now, so he can defend the belt on TV, which he has a couple times. So, and of course, anybody keeping score at home, the only two-time ROH World Champion is Austin Aries, who held the belt for 419 days and 29 defenses. Same as Joe. So, yeah, this has been fun. Thank you for joining us for this awesome pre-show. And I will be watching this event live tomorrow night. So if you want to get with me on the Facebook page, we can do a chat. I'm probably going to hop on later and give my thoughts, and then we'll do a ringside report, reviewing it later on. So I don't know when though, but we got a split. So thank you very much for listening to us. Until next time, for Lee, I am Lex. Good night, folks.
Papers. Yeah, I'll just send you a message. Skype crashed.
Skype crashed for me too. I think it was because I was messing around with my video settings and everything.
Oh.
Because I just found my old webcam and I was like, holy shit, maybe we could do something like you ever see one of those Google Hangouts?
Is that the one with the split screen and has like two people talking and they have a?
Yeah, you can like stream it over YouTube and stuff like that, and you can switch the camera around and everything like that. So I was thinking like maybe we can do that for one of the shows or whatever, So.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be cool.
So people can actually see our faces and stuff like that, because you didn't see me. Yeah, I mean you saw pictures of me and everything, but you didn't see me until that video I posted last week, and it's like, I don't think a lot of people have seen me outside of that.
I've seen a picture and I've heard a voice, but I've never seen like mannerisms and stuff connected to it.
Right, exactly.
And it was like I can see how serious and how particular you can be about certain things because like you were going over your videos, like your video games, and it was just like you have a system and you have a setup and you want things a certain way. Like, like I was like, I wonder if he's one of those guys where like somebody cool, but they can't touch his stuff.
That's the thing
Like
though.
you can
Like,
look at it, but don't touch. Like I see you holding up a game or something that's dear to you, and one of your friends reaching out for it, and you like moving him back away from him.
like it depends on how close I know the person. But like, I'm not particular like that. I've had friends that are like that. That like they have everything set up like a shrine in their house. Like one of my friends that I used to hang out with a lot. He's comic book guy and everything like that, and he has them all in the sleeves, hanging up on the wall, and all these action figures hanging up on the wall and everything. And like if I were to touch that, he would get uncomfortable. I'm not like that, but I tell you this, I don't like to be unprepared. Like if I'm moving
I
a
got
video
you.
or
Yeah.
anything, like I don't want to be. If we're doing a podcast, I don't like to be sitting there trying to go off memory because my memory sucks ass. Terrible
No, I'm with
memory.
you. I mean, but sometimes the spontaneity and you could be surprised what you can get from that. But I'll say I can understand kind of what the comic says. Comic books. It's like with comic books, it's the story is just amazing when you look at what can actually be from an outsider. Comic books are the most foolish thing, and I can understand that. From an outsider, I mean they're foolish, but when you look at the time and the effort and the emotion and that goes into these story and the connection you get with these characters,
Right.
it's like, and like, don't get me wrong, like video games, for example, the only reason why I don't deem it foolish is because I used to be a gamer,
Yeah.
but I was a gamer from a different generation. And like the way games run now, I can't wrap my mind around it. I don't dismiss it and send it off as something foolish, but I just can't really understand it. It's like, I'm used to getting a game and you try your best and you beat these levels, some that seem impossible. But now it's so much put into it. Like, and my son can run circles around me in some of these games now.
Yeah.
It's like the hours that you put into it and you have to unlock all this stuff and some stuff has to be bought. It's just so complex and I like things simple and I just run from complexities and stuff like that because it makes me nervous to get around that stuff that's just it's so much to it. I just can't be bothered.
Yeah, they're only going to get more complicated too. And EA has actually said that they're going to try to work microtransactions into every single game they put out. So like you buy little things for $1 or whatever. It helps.
I mean, it's too many buttons. I won't even play the ones on my cell phone. My son's got this book called the Guinness Book of World Records, the Gamers Edition.
Yeah.
And he's taking me through all this, and I'm looking at all these characters and these games and all this stuff, and I'm like, I got a headache. He's like, Dad, you can read it. He said, just go ahead, you can borrow it. Just go ahead and read it and tell me what you think. And I'm like, we'll look at it together. And I really don't want to look at it because
Right.
it's so complex.
You like an A button, a B button, a start, select, and a D-pad, right?
As far as I would go is like a Super Nintendo controller.
Okay, that's a bit.
I mean, maybe 2 on top is fine, but I look at it now, and it's like they got a trigger, and then they got a
Yeah.
L, a R, a B, a Q, a Y, a Z button, and I'm like, what the hell?
It's crazy. The Nintendo 64 controller, especially, because I had the Z button, the joystick, the D-pad. It had the 4 face button. No, it had the 2 face buttons, and then it had the 4 camera buttons on it, and then it had the 2 on top, and then it looked like a, kind of like a boomerang with an extra piece sticking out. It's just weird. I couldn't do that controller, so I feel you on that at least.
Yeah, the 64 one was the last system I got, and that's why probably because it was too much. To go from Super Nintendo to that was too much. It was way too much.
That was like calculus.
And I understand what they were trying to do, but I think it was a little bit too much at once. And I see why they give you that stuff in small doses. But like now, my son, he has the Wii, and I'm like, well, which one do you use? Do you play using the controller, or do you play, looking at the screen? He's like, oh, it all depends on how I feel. Sometimes I look at this, sometimes I look at that, and I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, the Wii is another one of those complicated things because they have literally three different controllers. They have the wand, then they have the nunchuck, which you stick into the wand, and then they have the classic controller, which is just like a Super Nintendo controller that you can use for only some games. And
Don't talk about that Wii U he's got too. He's got the Wii and the Wii U, and they got
does
that
he?
big one. And I'm like,
the tablet screen
well,
controller.
yeah, that's the thing. I'm like, you're playing with a tablet.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way they wanted it to go. That's what I like about PlayStation, though. They've kept the same controller essentially from the PlayStation 1, back in the mid-90s. So
See, that's the thing. Like, I was looking in this book and I saw the picture of the PlayStation Vista is or something.
oh,
And I'm
Vita,
like,
yeah.
yeah, Vita. And I'm like, that seems like a nice, simple
Even that though,
handheld.
even that though, it's like it's got you've got a touch screen on the back of the controller. It's like it's weird. It's like this touch pad actually. So when you're holding this Vita, you can actually go with like your middle finger and like brush the back of the thing, and you're like controlling the screen with that. And it's crazy. It's absolutely the DS is probably the most calm
Yeah, he's got a
handheld.
DS and a 3DS, and then
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, like, I saw one, but that's sort of price of it. And then on top of that, I mean, I was like, do I want to give Sony any more of my money? I mean,
I'm 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 so excited for the PS4. It's gonna be
I see, I've
fantastic.
seen your post.
Oh man, it's gonna have this button on it where you can share stuff. So you push the share button, you'll automatically upload videos and screenshots and shit. So my Facebook is just gonna be littered with games.